Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about the paranormal world and spirituality, self-love, all that good stuff. This new series has been about spiritual awakening. I've been journaling my own since the very beginning, and today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about spiritual awakening and depression and some things that you can do to make your spiritual awakening, dark nights, a little bit better. So stay tuned, guys.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try, think that.
Okay guys, so during the spiritual awakening, we go through something that is called the dark night of the soul. And I want to really quick just clarify something about dark night of the soul and also about getting into depressions and low points during a spiritual awakening. Now, I've heard a lot of people in their spiritual awakening videos say that you will just go through one dark night, and some other people say you go through a few of them. It really depends on who you are. But for the most part, I think that it might not be so much dark night of the soul once you're already in the stage of going through a spiritual awakening and you've gone through the dark night of the soul, and then you go back to having these days here and there that you're feeling really depressed, feeling really icky, unmotivated, you can't even get out of bed in the morning, you don't want to do the normal things that you enjoy doing. You can have these kind of days in between too, and they're not necessarily the dark night of the soul. They're just bad days. And I think that we just pay a lot more attention to those bad days because we're used to everything being so awesome and so great in the beginning, so magical. Like in the beginning of our spiritual awakening, everything is happening so quickly, and we have all these new emotions and all these new ideas, and our head is like exploding, with high energy. So now when everything kind of levels out, when we go back to having that like bad day here and there, we might get those moments where we're like, I'm not even into spirituality. I'm not going to read these books anymore, and I'm not listening to these YouTube videos. Spirituality is shit. It's bullshit, and it doesn't work, and la 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 la. I've done it, so it's okay. Anyways, yeah. So you're going to have bad days in between, and you just need to learn how to get through those bad days because we're going to have bad days. I would love if my life was filled with, like, pancakes with chocolate chips and extra syrup and butter, but it's not. So, yeah, you just gotta learn how to work through those bad, shitty days. And I think it kind of goes like this. You wake up in the morning, right? Get out of bed and you stub your toe getting out of bed, or you go to the bathroom and you brush your teeth and you drip the toothpaste all over your shirt. You gotta go to work now. You have no time to change. Then you go to pour your coffee. It pours all over the place. Your dog has peed himself. It's one of those mornings, right? But rewind that energy just a minute. If you could start at the minute that you got out of your bed in the morning and you stubbed your toe, and then you said, oh, this is going to be such a shitty day. I can feel it. Ask thy universe and thy shall answer. Seriously, guys, though, it's called the law of attraction, and it doesn't matter if you're trying to attract something or put something out there that's positive or if it's negative. If you keep saying the same repetitive things and negative things, maybe you're going to get the same repetitive things back. So kind of think about that during your day. And trust me, I know, because I've had those mornings. I have them a lot because I'm a super klutz, and I have dogs. But yeah, so I have those days a lot because we're human, and yeah, we're going to have those days, but it's just learning how to, like, okay, stop, chill. It's not really a big deal. My point is, we're going to have those bad days. And if you're going through a spiritual awakening, you're probably going to experience a dark night of the soul. Not everybody is going to, but a lot of people do. Some worse than others. But having a bad day is not the same as a dark night of the soul. Not at all. We're just adjusting to this new life, into this new vibe, into this new energy. So those bad days just seem a lot worse than they used to be. Okay, guys?
We're gonna win. We're gonna win!
So What I did to stay positive during my spiritual awakening, number one was, yes, I went through YouTube and I did a search of positive mantras that could help me start my day and positive videos, and I made a playlist. So when I'm getting ready for work in the morning or getting ready to start my day, go to the gym, whatever it is I'm going to do, I can just hit play and hear that mantra. That you can do to stay positive during those dark nights and those depressing days is by, number one, staying connected with other positive and like-minded people. Whether it is finding someone on social networking, different groups, there's tons of them, Facebook, Instagram, I think even YouTube has them. But there's lots of different groups that you can join for whatever it is that you're into. I've spoken to you guys a lot about the spirituality and witchcraft page that I'm on. That's Amino Apps. And there are just countless different communities within spirituality, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that you can join and meet people from literally all around the world. I have met people that are just like myself from all around the world, and it was a really good thing, especially during Corona. It was actually a really good thing because it kept me really busy and occupied, because they are constantly doing challenges on that page, and you're just meeting new people in this chat rooms and games and things like that. So social media and joining social media networks and groups is an excellent way that you guys can stay connected spiritually and staying in a positive mindset, because those kind of people are the people that are going to constantly lift you up, because they understand what you're going through, and you guys are going to have the same similar conversations because you guys are going through the same things. So those people in your life that don't really understand about your third eye opening and all that crazy stuff, right? Well, these people will understand. So try to join a group in social media or wherever platform it is, and try to connect with people that are like-minded. Number two, stay creative. If you don't consider yourself a creative person, you might surprise yourself. There's tons of DIYs. Think of anything. Think of one thing that interests you. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice, by the way. It's so obvious. So anyway, think of one thing that interests you. Go on YouTube. There are thousands of DIYs. You can make your own hand soaps and your own makeups and your own candles and your own oils, or your own Christmas wreaths and decorations for Christmas and things like that. These are things that I was doing when I was going through a really long, dark night of the soul. I had like a hobby table pretty much set up in the middle of my house. I don't think my husband was a fan of it, but he was a fan of me not being depressed and trying to stay on my a spiritual game. So I had all kinds of different arts and crafts, paints and canvases, to do. I'm not a painter, trust me, but just to do anything, get creative. I was painting bottles and making things for Christmas. I made people Christmas presents and sent them last year. Stay creative. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, whatever it is that you like to do, there's probably, I can guarantee you, there's a freaking DIY for that, okay, on YouTube. Just, I swear to God, Google anything, and there's a DIY for it. And number three is good books, okay? Get yourself involved in a really great book. I'm a writer, so I'm being a little bit biased, but I mean, I've loved reading since I was a little kid. I used to open up a book, those books that, in the comments, guys, leave me. Do you guys remember those books that you could change the ending by reading? Like it would say, okay, for a different ending, go to page, whatever it was. Those were like my favorite books besides like the highlight magazines. That doesn't count as a book. Kind of an activity book for a kid. But anyways, those books were like my favorite books, because I'm like, oh, I wonder what would happen if I go to page 67. So I loved reading, and reading can just like open up new doors to new things, especially if you're an artsy person or a person that likes to write. It might inspire you to do something else, or to write your own story, or just give you some new creative idea. I wanted to show you guys 3 books that helped me during my spiritual awakening. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to end this with my favorite 3 books. We're back. All right, guys. So these are 3, just 3, of some of the books that helped get me through my dark nights during my spiritual awakening. Like I said, I am a huge book buff. I am a book nerd. I love reading, and like I said, every time I read, I feel like I get even more creative, like I get new ideas, or somehow they make me feel inspired. So our first book is called The Rituals, and it is by Natalie McNeil, and I hope that you guys can see this. That is called The Rituals, and what this book is just a bunch of simple practices to make you basically feel good, to help you out with your relationships, to on the path of self-discovery. So how perfect, right? I'll give you guys an example. So we have design your sacred space, anchor yourself, mindful morning, alarming inspiration, flow of abundance, rhythm of the moon, date yourself. So these are just some ideas, guys. Like I said, this is a book. So if you guys aren't really familiar with what a ritual is, it's basically just a small and simple practice that you can do daily, weekly, monthly, however you like. It's just basically an act of self-love. That's the way I see it anyway. Rituals to me are an act of self-love. You can have, like I said, daily rituals, monthly rituals, rituals that you do yearly. All around the world, different cultures have tons of rituals that they do for different things. You can have a ritual for just about anything, guys. I mean, I do it in my practice, in my magic practice, and I do it in spirituality, and I do it in my very basic everyday things, like getting up in the morning and making my bed. So this is just a really fun book. It gives you just different ideas, like things you can do even with the full moon cycles and things like that. So that is a book that I love. Book number 2, guys, with incense all over it, is The Artist's Way. You guys can see that? Artist's Way. The Artist's Way. And this book is by Julia Cameron, and it is about a spiritual path to more creativity. So what was I saying, right? It said, Artist's Way brings much insight, gently helping you see what is holding you back and showing how to move forward. Elizabeth Gilbert, author of Big Magic. So this book is basically, it's about discovering and recreating your creative persona, your creative self. So this book is all about creativity and finding yourself, looking deep inside yourself. And what is spiritual awakening, really? Spiritual awakening is getting rid of the old and bringing in the new, and being open to new and creative ideas in your new spiritual path. So this book I talked about, matter of fact, in one of my spiritual awakening video series. Matter of fact, I think it was the very last one that I did, the stages of spiritual awakening. And as you can see, I have lots of papers and things like this, bookmarks, and different pages. It's basically a workbook on yourself. So this book is like self-help. It's about working on yourself, but it also asks you to dive deep into yourself, into your soul, into who you are. And this is what spiritual awakening is. So this is why, guys, I am recommending The Artist's Way to you guys. Awesome book, okay? And we're going to get on to our third and final book. So, okay, guys, so the last and final book that I want to share with you guys is Meditation. Wicked pretty, too. And the coolest thing about this book is that it also comes with, like, these really cute illustrated meditation cards. So, you guys can really see that image. And right off the bat, if you don't even read anything, what would you guys think that one was? Grounding. So it's a grounding meditation. So I'm going to give you guys an example of what these cards are. You can just bring these with you, like anywhere you go, even if you travel. I stick them in my travel suitcase because I like to have them when I travel. Things are, chaotic and I need calming. I want to take a relaxing meditation bath or something like that. Even if I want to do a little bit of like a 5 or 10 minute mindful meditation, I like to have these cards just to give me an idea of where to put my brain. So this is the grounding meditation. I'm going to read it to you guys. And it says, it is a good idea to ground yourself before doing any deep meditation. This will link you to the earth and prevent you from becoming dizzy or spacey afterward. Sit comfortably in chair and relax. Close your eyes. Breathe regularly and focus on your breathing. Now, focus on the base of your spine. Imagine a root growing downward from your spine. Imagine, and yada, 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 yada. Did you actually think I was going to sit here and read that whole entire card and bore you guys like that? So anyway, guys, again, this book is called We Need a Lot of Time to Do This, guys. 5 minutes of mindful meditation a day is enough. Even if you do 2 minutes of it, just be mindful. Get the book. Honestly, though, this is by Jacqueline Towers. So Jacqueline Towers, Meditation. Those are my 3 books that I recommend to you guys. And I hope that this helps with some of your dark nights. And remember, there is a difference between a dark night and a shitty day. Until next time, guys, and thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you guys know every time I upload a new video. And subscribe, please, if you like my content. Share with your friends. Namaste, y'all.